Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal.
What's up, people? You know what time it is. It's Wednesday, November the 3rd. Good night. November the 3rd. 11 months and 3 days in. Yeah. It's Wednesday night, 7:30. Time for happy hour with Hendrix. I'm Hendrix, and this is happy hour. Welcome to the show. Now, before we get started, as always, we have to give our little disclaimer. We prefer you be 21 and older, and this is for your entertainment purposes only. Our opinions are those of ours and ours alone. And yeah, it is yeah, you gotta be at least 18 though. At least 18, but we prefer 21. Now before we get into the show tonight, um just want to let you all know that I was not on last week. Had another member of my family pass, and it's been a little rough. However, however, it did give me pause, and what I paused on was the title of tonight's show. Consider the source, right? Because y'all know the last 2 years or so been kind of rough. We've been going through dealing with this whole COVID thing. We've had a lot of quote unquote fake news, and it's just really after sitting around and talking with my family, it just really got to me that you really should consider your sources before you make a decision. Now, the COVID vaccine is something recent, and we've beaten that horse to death. Um, People aren't scientists. Why the fuck are you listening to them? If they're a scientist, listen. Take your time and listen to what they have to say, but don't just listen to one. Get your multitude of sources. Now, I say this specifically, and I started with this specifically for one specific reason. I have this one individual in my family that is just dead set against getting the vaccine. Now, I look at my family, the majority of my family is vaccinated. Now, I understand those with health concerns. So, if you have allergies to something like the flu shot, I can understand why you be like, no, pump the brakes, hold on, let me find out, let me wait. That makes sense. I can understand if you have a health issue that would cause you to have some concerns. I understand if there's potential, medication interactions that would give you cause for, pause and concern. All these things are valid. They make sense. And I'm not talking to you people. I'm not. Because I get that. I have a health issue myself. And I understand that those things are something you really have to look at. You really have to dig in. I get that. The people I'm talking about are the ones that's just totally against it and really don't even have a valid reason. I don't know what's in it. That's the number one excuse I get. I don't know what's in it. Polio, measles, mumps, diphtheria. Do you know what was in those vaccines? But you line your ass up and took one so you could go to school, right? I'm just saying. That's real simplified. You have an allergic reaction to them. They didn't do anything to you. Yeah, you full of shit. That's just me and my opinion. Again, our opinion only. But consider the source. Number one, I'm a scientist. I got about 20 plus years dealing with pathogen mitigation. Mm, I might know what I'm talking about. Just maybe. Just maybe. Um, I err on the side of caution because I work in quality. That is my realm. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be a little more precautious with my thoughts, theories, and action plans. That's typical of somebody that works in the quality realm. We're not going to flirt with that line um, of safety. So, my thought process, my judgments, my theories are definitely going to err on the side of caution. I am aware of that. And see, a real expert will explain this and tell you this honestly. But you got those people out there that's just on some bullshit that think they know everything and they do a fucking Google search and think, oh, you read on the internet for 5 minutes or so and you think you know every fucking thing that there is to know. Time and time again, I've been telling y'all, do your own Google searches if you want to. You don't have a reputable experience, shut the fuck up. I mean, I stay in my lane. Look, I know science. I know sports. Politics, not really my realm. But we're going to touch on politics from a high level a little later on. From a high level. Basic shit, right? And just remember this. If you're talking to a scientist, ask them one question and just see where their head is and really see what kind of experience they have, right? Just ask them, how many phases of matter are there? Hey, Alicia, how you doing, sweetie? You talk to any scientist, ask them one question. How many phases of matter are there? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Q. Yeah, we want to hear from the anti-vaxxers. So y'all join us. Make sure y'all shoot us a text message or something. 972-904-2398. Or you can hit us up on our email at mastergas@gmail.com. We want to hear from y'all. I mean, again, I'm open to hearing what you have to say, but bullshit like, I don't know what's in it. They trying to microchip us or they trying to kill us. That shit don't fire. That's some hog wild shit that I don't know where people pull that. They pull that out their ass somewhere. I don't know. Then I understand some people's thought process, right? Because they're trying to figure out, well, how did they come up with this vaccine so quick? And again, this is where your scientific knowledge comes into play. COVID-19 is a derivative of SARS, right? It's a SARS strain, and it's just a derivative. What they call it, a mutation, evolution, however you want to put it. But basically, it's SARS. So SARS has been around for years, probably like 40 years, right? They've had time. This is just a different variant. Like right now, we have the Delta variant of the coronavirus out. So yeah, it's just a different variant of SARS. This is how they was able to come up with it so quick. Real simple. But again, if you're not a scientist, you would know that. And for that question, if you ask somebody that says they're a scientist, and you ask them how many phases of matter there are, and they tell you 3, don't listen to shit else that they say. Period. If they tell you there's 3 phases of matter, don't listen to shit else that they say. Period. Real simple. Because a real scientist is gonna know the answer to that question. A real scientist is gonna know. But if they tell you there are 3 phases of matter, they're gonna probably say solid, liquid, gas. They full of shit. Keep it pushing. Don't listen to them. All right. Now, talk about people full of shit. I know y'all probably seen this shit, right? Um, and this I really don't touch on politics, but I'm gonna touch on a couple of things right quick. Um, we had the Capitol attack back in January. And then this is after Trump lost the election, of course. And then they were these QAnon people that roll with QAnon. They were saying that, oh, Trump's going to be reinstated. And they kept coming up with all these crazy theories and all this bullshit. Here it is, November. Trump ain't been reinstated in the shit. But again, consider the source. Now, before we get to going on QAnon, because I'm not going to dive in on them hard, because they do the shit and they make it easy for themselves. They make themselves an easy target. Because the latest theory was that when Trump was here in Dallas, him and Kennedy, yes, that Kennedy, not one of the Kennedys that's living, Kennedy, like JFK, the dude that got shot in Dallas and died. They said that Trump and this motherfucker was going to run for office in 2024 and that he was not dead. He just been laying low for the past 40, 50 some odd years. He coming back out and he going to run for office. Now look here. Let's just take, for instance, let's just say he was laying low. Dude was 30 when he was like 35, 40 when he got shot. Like, this motherfucker would be damn near 90. Really? Really? But they had people out there believing this shit. Now, I don't know what their source of information is, but anybody that rolls with fucking QAnon, y'all listening to them motherfuckers, you stupid as fuck. I ain't gonna hold no punches. I'm just call it like it is. If you listen to anything the motherfuckers say and you believe it, after all this shit since like back in December of 2020, you listen to anything these motherfuckers say and you believe that shit, yeah, you a dumb motherfucker. Just call it like it is. You a dumb motherfucker. You really are. I ain't gonna hold no punches. I'm just sorry, you are a dumb motherfucker. And there's a difference between being stupid. Oh, I guess they got the Tupac and Cuba theory. Yeah, Tupac is not alive. Tupac dead and gone. But I'm gonna say this, like, think about this. Like, really just stop, pause, and think about it. Like, some of the shit that be coming out of these people's mouths is retarded and it's ridiculous. And a lot of it is because certain people are lacking education. And I'm gonna just put it out there. You look at where education and poverty, education is the lowest and poverty is the highest. Look how they tend to vote. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I'm not gonna sit up here and give you all the answers. All I'm gonna say is there is a correlation between low education and high poverty. There is a very clear correlation between politics, low education, and high poverty. Just think about that. You put those together. Now, again, I'm not gonna do the I'm not gonna show you all the information. I want you to do your own research. But low education, high poverty, look how those people tend to vote. Not only look at how they tend to vote, but look at what their demographic is. That will tell you a lot right there. But hey, I ain't calling out no political parties because everybody doesn't fit the mold. And that's true. However, if you pay attention and really look at this shit, yeah, you'll see that there is a clear correlation. But these are also the motherfuckers that like changing district lines every time a census comes around because it keeps them in power for 10 years. But again, I ain't gonna call out no names, but just watch. Yeah. So that being said, just a reminder of the show lineup, y'all. Got a new show lineup for 2024. 2021 here at the end. First is third Tuesday nights. We got MTG Stupid is Real with Q. Last night, Q just went off. And I'm starting to understand his stupid is real. On Wednesday nights, you got me, your boy Hendrix, Happy Hour with Hendrix. On the first and third Thursday nights, you got MTG After Dark. And then Saturday morning at 9:30, Q finally got it right. Oh, you got MTG Live. So if you're listening to us on the podcast, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. Make sure you follow us and subscribe. And then when we go live, you get the notifications. If you're listening to us on the audio version, hey, that's cool too. Hey, what I need y'all to do is make sure you subscribe. So when we do a new episode, we drop a new episode, hey, boom, you got it. And what we've been trying to do is the same day of the show, we get the podcast up, the audio version up. So if you're listening to this, it should have been up the same day. We're trying to get that done. Also, we're working on some stuff in the background because y'all know Happy Hour with Hendrix ain't been the same since we've cut out the music. So we're working on getting our license so we can actually put music back in. And also, while I'm on that, just want to say thank you to our international listeners, the ones in France and Ireland and Russia, Mexico, all our peoples in Qatar, which is really strange, and Russia, and the Caribbean. Hey man, we appreciate y'all. Didn't know we was that like that. I mean, I guess especially our people in France, y'all figured out how to find us, so that's really appreciative because I know I was in Vegas a few years back, and I ran into a designer. Me and him was kicking it with his crew because my uncle was getting married, and then one of his boys was like, "Dude, I know you." I didn't know. I thought it was just on some bullshit. But apparently they found out about us in France. And so, hey, we appreciate y'all, man. So like, subscribe, and continue to support us in any way you can. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to take a quick break, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to touch on one more thing that you should really consider the source before you make your move. But we'll be right back. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Hendrix. Q, you know what? I just get to give props to Q. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, Twitch, any of the videos y'all actually watching this, those little interludes Q be doing with the little videos and the interludes for the shows and stuff, and he be killing it. I don't know how he come up with some of this shit, but that's why he's one of those creatives. I'm not. I'm not an idea man. I make ideas better. I know my role. I'm cool with it. I'm comfortable with that. But one more thing I want to talk about before I get off of here is where you should really consider your source is education. Really consider your source. Now, there's been some uproar, and when I talk about education, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not just talking about education in a schoolhouse. I'm talking about education in school, education in religion, education in life. Because you're gonna pick up things, and you should be picking up things from every aspect of your life, whether it's professionally, in a school setting, or just in your daily life. You should be learning something every single day. So what I need y'all to do just do me a favor. Just consider the source, because I know there's been this whole uproar about recently about critical race theory. Like, oh, we don't want that in our schools, and no, they shouldn't be taught that. There's only one group fighting against it. And again, I ain't gonna say no names, but there's only one group fighting against it. And you always wonder why. Now, for those that don't know what critical race theory is, again, I'm not gonna give you all the answers. I want you to actually go do some research on your own and look up more than one source. And you find out not only what critical race theory is, but also where it is taught. And these arguments are going to be, it's going to really be, you're going to really be dumbfounded on what you find out. And then what these people are doing is, it's really stupid. I mean, I'm at a loss of words right now because there's a difference between ignorance and stupidity. And these people are stupid because they know better. See, ignorance is when you don't know any better. And see, I can handle ignorance because you don't know what you don't know. But some of these people are just stupid because they know better. And yet they go spouting out stupid shit. And the reason that most experts do not fire back, because most experts, number one, they don't have the quick and snappy one-liners or anything like that. They don't have time for the bullshit. It's just like, wow. You know what? Okay, if that's the shit you want to believe, go on ahead. Um, but another thing that I found really interesting was because I can understand the critical race theory because it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. They don't really know what it is, and then they'll get hyped up by somebody, wrong source, and then they'll be spouting some bullshit that ain't even true, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is like there is a school district here in Texas that is fighting against equality and bullying. They're fighting against a program in a school that would address equality and bullying. Why would somebody do that? This same school district, just so you understand, um, they had some kids flying the Confederate flag. And then another group of kids that were going to protest flying of the Confederate flag. And the kids that were planning on protesting the flying of the Confederate flag were the ones that actually got in trouble, not the kids that put up the Confederate flag. Think about that shit. Does that shit make any sense to you? However, again, I want you to go look at it for yourself and find out the correlation between, and I'm pretty sure most of y'all know, the people that was flying the rebel flag and the Confederate flag and the ones that were planning on protesting it, they don't look alike. And the ones that were considering protesting were the ones that actually got in trouble. But that same school district don't want bullying and equality addressed in the school district. Again, consider the source. And then one more thing, since we're on education, I'm gonna get into religion just a little bit. Now I had this lady call me on the phone, and she was talking to me about everything that's going on. And I know it was a random call, but I had to check her real quick because I was in a mood and I really wasn't feeling like dealing with people. I just buried another little cousin. And I was in a mood, and she was like, well, do you believe in God? And do you think it's the end of the world? And I was like, look here, lady, I don't know what Bible you read. Because I asked, I'm like, what religious holy book are you reading? Well, I'm reading the Bible. Okay, that's fine. So I know the source that you're coming from. So when I address you properly in context that you can understand. So what most people don't know is I have read the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah. So I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I've read enough to know that there's some bullshit in religion. I'm sorry. There is. You consider your source. Man created religion. Therefore, religion is inherently flawed because man is inherently flawed. Now, am I saying don't worship? Ooh, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that every religion has flaws because every religion is man-made. Because I will tell you something very, very quick that messes people up. In most religions, the eldest son inherits the father's possessions. The eldest son inherits the father's possessions. In that same Bible, it would also tell you that a married bed is undefiled. So, husband and wife, they get together. Hey, what they do in their bedroom is their business, long as they're both in agreement, right? Now, most Christians would say, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We agree with that. Yes, absolutely. Those two things we can absolutely agree on. This is where you catch them in a lie. If they agree with those two things, there wouldn't be fighting in the Middle East. Because Abraham and Sarah couldn't have kids initially. Sarah said it was okay for Abraham to sleep with Hagar, his servant, and she gave him a son, Ishmael. That's his oldest son. Okay by his wife Sarah. Now, if she had listened and waited on God to make his move, they would have had their son. But she didn't. She made her own move. Hagar got Ishmael. Now Sarah finally gets pregnant, and then she kicks Hagar and Ishmael out. Now, if you know anything about the historic religion, Ishmael started Islam. This is why Judaism and Islam share a lot of the same damn beliefs. What the fuck are they fighting for? They're fighting because they're fighting because of the land. But you look in that holy book and that tradition of Islam, Muslims, and Christians, pick one. The oldest son always inherits the father's stuff. It's the way it goes. Ishmael is the rightful heir of Jerusalem. Period. That means the rightful people that should be in control of Jerusalem are the Muslims. Period. But no, Christians can't have that. That's our land and it belongs to us. No, it don't. By your rules, it don't. And you know why? Because last time I checked, what Christians were part of the 12 tribes of Israel? I'm just saying. Shit don't make no sense. Consider your source. Full of bullshit. Because they don't want to admit to what's factual. Based on their traditions, based on their holy book, you take those things and you come to find out that rightfully Jerusalem belongs to the Muslims. Period. But yet, you got people fighting over it and dying for it. And it don't even belong to them. Last time I checked, them same people that went over to Israel and Jerusalem trying to conquer land that don't belong to them also came over to the U.S. and found and discovered land that people were already living in. Oh, how the fuck you discover something that somebody was already there? You didn't discover shit. You found it. You stumbled across it, but you didn't find shit. You didn't discover shit. People was already there. You just so happened to discover it on your own to where the people in your realm now know about it. But it wasn't nothing new. Motherfuckers had been there for centuries. But yet, You discovered a new land. No, you didn't. You stumbled up on some shit you didn't know about. That's not a discovery. But again, consider your source. Consider your source. Now, I know this shit probably gonna make a lot of people mad. I really don't give a damn. Because, again, entertainment and our opinions only. You don't like it? I'm sorry. You can text us. You can email us. Tell me what you don't agree with. I'd love to hear from you. You can email us at mastergas@gmail.com. You know what? Better yet, text us. Hey, Q, go ahead and put that text number up. Because I can't remember our text number for shit. So, so I know it's like 972 904 2398. I think that's the number. If I'm not wrong, yeah, 972 904 2398. That is the number. Hey, I'm getting pretty good at that. I'm remembering. So you got any questions, topics, or whatever? You have some comments, concerns? Hit us up on the show. Text us. Shoot us an email. Let us know what your thoughts are. Yeah, I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. But before I do, again, remember the whole show tonight's whole realm. What are we talking about? Always consider your source. And I'm not saying you don't listen to people. I'm not saying don't get so caught up on the messenger that you miss the message. Because sometimes the messenger can be fucked up, but they will deliver the message that you need to hear. But don't get so caught up in what they're saying that you don't take time, pause, and consider, hey, where is this information coming from? Should I also do my own research? And the answer is yes. You should always do your own research. And I'm not talking about Google. Google is good for a little bit of shit. But if you want to do some in-depth research, you might want to figure out this thing called a Dewey Decimal System. And that's all I'm going to say. Do your own research on that. Go to a place where you would actually use the Dewey Decimal System and do some more research. And I'm not talking about one-liners and pages. Read some fucking books. Read some books. And come up with your own thought process. I may not have 100% of everything right. I don't. And I know that. However, I have a way of critically thinking about things, and I look at both sides. You know, I look at both sides, and I usually come up with something in the middle. Because usually both sides of an argument are valid, but as a person and as a people, we usually have to compromise. We can't have things all our way all the time. That's okay. Usually have to come up with some type of compromise. So with that being said, I just want y'all to remember something. The flame of fear keeps ignorance and you get hate. The flame of fear keeps ignorance and you get hate. I'm going to leave y'all with that. All right. With that being said, y'all, I'm out. Y'all take it easy. Don't forget tomorrow we got After Dark, and I want to wish our Miss Arbra, not Barbara, happy birthday because it's her birthday today. And just so she has a good day, it's happy birthday. Hope you enjoy yourself, sweetie. And y'all have a good night. And I'll see y'all on Saturday morning. Peace.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal.